Well, let me tell you what Trump has done, okay? Because this is the best news I think that we could have had. Because Trump taps my guy, that's right, Matt Gaetz, for the Attorney General's office, you guys, that's right. President-elect Trump on Wednesday announced that Representative Matt Gaetz, Republican from Florida, as his pick for Attorney General, an unexpected pick that took many, including fellow House Republicans, by surprise. If confirmed, Gaetz will head up the Justice Department after Trump is sworn in for his second term in January. And Trump first announced his nomination in a post on Truth Social, saying Gaetz has distinguished himself in Congress through his focus on achieving disparity-needed reform at the Department of Justice. And I could not agree with that quote more, you guys. This is fantastic news. Gaetz confirmed the nomination on the social media site X, better known as Twitter, adding in a quote, "It will be an honor to serve as President Trump's Attorney General." In a statement on Truth Social, Trump praised Gaetz for his experience on the House Judiciary Committee, where he said Gaetz played a key role in defeating the Russia hoax and exposing what Trump described as an alarming and systematic government corruption and weaponization. Yes, he did. He is a champion for the Constitution and the rule of law, he added, and Gaetz graduated from William and Mary College of Law and passed the Florida bar exam back in 2008. News of his appointment was met with a certain level of shock from House lawmakers, and Gaetz, a longtime Trump ally, had been under investigation by the House Ethics Committee, which subpoenaed him as recently as September for an ongoing investigation into alleged sexual misconduct, which is total bullshit, with a minor. Gaetz is responsible, told the panel he would, in quotes, no longer voluntarily participate in their probe. And in an additional quote, he says, "I explicitly reserve all of my rights pursuant to the House rules and the U.S. Constitution," he wrote in the letter, which was shared on social media. It is unlikely that the investigation itself would block Gaetz' path to confirmation in Republican majority Senate, though it could make it more difficult. Representative Michael Guest, a Republican from Mississippi who chairs the House Ethics Committee, told Fox News Digital that their investigation would cease as soon as Gaetz leaves the House. And in a quote, "Once a member is no longer a member of Congress, then ethics has no jurisdiction," he says. And Guest also added in a quote, "Look, I have great trust in President Trump and those people that he will surround himself with and put in his cabinet. So I am sure that Trump and his transition team have taken into consideration all the good and bad surrounding everyone, one of the candidates that they're looking at appointing, and so I do not question President Trump's appointment at all," end quote. And still, Guest said that the House Ethics Committee would not ramp up the pace of their investigation in light of Gaetz' nomination. In a quote, says, "No, we're not going to do anything to expedite this," he told Fox News. And early contenders for the post had included sitting U.S. senators, former Justice Department personnel, and at least one Trump White House advisor from Trump's first term. And in a quote says, "He's going to want someone who he knows, likes, and trusts." Former acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker, oh, I know Matt, shout out Matt Whitaker, told Fox News about the role last week and says he's going to want someone who was there from the beginning, he says, end quote. So congratulations, my guy, Mr. Matt Gaetz, who's going to be our next Attorney General. And this is a huge, huge, huge win for the cannabis industry. And I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
I'm just really excited to be the first U.S. compliance consultant. That's going to be great, Jason.
Man, I cannot wait for him to.
Elections have consequences, guys. Okay.
Yeah, they do.
This is one of the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And it was clear. I mean, I've been a lifelong Democrat. I'm watching this like you guys lost the message, put it in a metaphorical sense. They chose the masculine over the feminine. Okay. And the masculine is, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to kick your ass. Okay. And so here we are. Now, we still have some issues to deal with here about the Congress, especially the Senate. He's going to probably need a recess appointment. So that's one of the first things the Senate's going to have to deal with, is that they're going to suspend the rules and send the Senate out for a minimum 10-day recess so we can do this. And there's grumbling inside the Republican Party already. I don't think it's a done deal. There's also the metaphor of putting the fox in charge of the hen house. Okay? I don't know how that's going to work, because a lot of people that are going to want to influence this have had their tail feathers singed by the DOJ. And I must tell you, I'm sort of pissed off at the DOJ myself, because those motherfuckers threw me in prison for growing some weed and giving it to sick people to send a message, okay? So I don't have any love lost with the DOJ myself. They over-politically prosecute. I was a political prisoner in prison for 5 goddamn years because I dared to tell them to stick it up their ass. They threw me in prison. So I've got some perspectives on this that are not what you would say are traditional Democratic perspectives. But what he hasn't figured out yet is the courts are going to step in. They're going to stop some of this stuff. And then there's going to be battles up the Supreme Court. So I don't, my popcorn is popped. I'm sitting here watching. I've got some unique perspectives because I'm a pretty conservative person myself, and I think some of this shit needs to stop. But how it's going to unfold, I don't know yet.
Jason Beck, do you know where Matt Gaetz went to undergrad?
Where, Jenny Beth?
Florida State University.
That's right. That's right. That's your favorite. That's your favorite school. You're always excited whenever they're playing football.
I was the Vice President Alumni Association for years in Denver. But no, I think I'm excited. I think I'm excited to see what he's going to do for cannabis. I think that we'll have some progress there. And, a lot of people have been accused of things that they haven't done. So we need to keep in mind that you are
not to mention
until proven guilty and not the other fucking way in this country.
100%. Not to mention. Not to mention,
that's not fair.
Not to mention, Jenny Beth, too, there is no accuser that is accusing him of this. These are just all allegations that people are pulling out of thin air. So it's all total bullshit.
Listen, that happens, and that's bullshit. And so,
it's all total
until you
bullshit.
have some concrete, verifiable facts, keep your mudslinging to yourself or throw your pity party in your bedroom and cry in the shower like adults. Get up and go to work. Wipe your ass.
And I'll be straight up. Matt does have some enemies on the Hill. I mean, he is the one that led the ousting of Speaker McCarthy in the House, and the reason that Mike Johnson is the Speaker. And so let's not get it twisted. And there definitely are a whole bunch of rhinos that aren't necessarily Matt's friends in regards to that. But Matt is a true constitutionalist, a true freedom fighter, a patriot, and I'm so happy that he is nominated for this. Like, I'm overwhelmed with joy. This is going to be the best thing for cannabis.
Too. A bunch of these ugly curmudgeons are just, jealous.
Well, also, too,
it's hard being the pretty person.
I get it.
Ask me.
I get it, and I am.
Ask me in Stone. It's hard.
Oh boy. I'm the one that actually got Matt Gaetz onto the platform as far as being for full descheduling of cannabis. Prior to our relationship, he was not on that page, and he is 100% on that page now. And shout out Brian Drombowski, who says in the chat, it says, let's not forget Gaetz was one of the 9 that signed the letter back in 2020, in quotes, DEA provide peace of mind to all Americans who have chosen to pursue a career in the hemp industry. And I think he's going to be fantastic for the weed industry and the hemp industry, which in essence is all the same. Just one's more regulated than the other, but nonetheless, I think he's going to be a champion for this, and I cannot wait. I am so excited. I was literally on cloud 9 all day yesterday. Like, he couldn't fucking tell me fucking anything bad yesterday. It was fucking great. Jesse, what do you think about this?
I could see you like in the Elf movie saying, I know him. No, I'm just kidding.
You're so stupid.
Literally.
No, I don't think he's a shoo-in. It's he comes with baggage, and like you said, he's got
everyone comes with baggage
on the GOP, in the GOP.
You wouldn't have a change of clothes if you didn't have baggage, Stone.
Hey, stop it.
Just saying.
As far as cannabis goes, though, and the news that came out about what Chris Christie was saying about Trump planning on possibly descheduling, I think the pick goes right hand in hand with that, but I don't think it's a shoo-in, so we'll see.
I think he's a shoo-in. I think there's going to be a lot of posturing, and people are going to say this and that, but ultimately he's going to get confirmed. The Republicans are controlling the Senate, and that's who's going to confirm him. So he's going to get the votes. I don't think any senators are going to want to go against Trump and his nominees personally, but time will tell, and we will see. And Brian Drombowski with a big old super chat. Thank you so much, Brian, who says, hello, hemp haters. If you're a hemp hater, make sure you head over to www.parodygummy.com and make sure you secure your bag today. You know what I mean? Any thoughts on this, Jesse?
I don't really have any thoughts on Matt Gaetz, but the DOJ, what's their track record for these prosecutions and stuff right now? It seems like it's pretty poor. Have they even gotten anything right in the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years?
Well, I think they got some things right once Matt Whitaker was in charge of the DOJ, but Andy Barr is in my opinion is a deep state kind of guy, and prior to that we had Jeff Sessions, and Jeff Sessions wasn't really that any good. But Merrick Garland is terrible, AG. I mean, he's totally woke and prosecuting all the wrong things at all the wrong times and all the wrong people for all the wrong reasons and whatnot. And so yeah, like I'm excited for us to actually see some real law and order come back to our country.
There you go.
Fair enough. Well, I'm going to get off of my soapbox. And again, congratulations, Mr. Matt Gaetz. I mean, he's watched the show a few times and, you know what I'm saying, tunes in now and again. I hope he ends up seeing it. I'm going to send him this video. Hope he enjoys it. And congratulations, sir. We are on our way to making America great again. And on that, we are going to roll into our next commercial and be right back.
This plan would make marijuana legal, but would not remove all of the consequences. Explain that for us.
Why are they busting in my door after midnight over something that Illinois says is legal?
Right. We've run into so much cannabis, we've run out of places to put it.
Things are legalized, but it's not legalized completely.
My mini doc on legalization policy in Illinois is available for free streaming now at colememo.com/minidoc.
Yeah, oh man, sorry you guys. Stop whatever you're doing. Make sure you smash that like button. I know we'll appreciate it, you'll appreciate it, and YouTube will appreciate it. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And all of the articles that we cover in today's show, you can read directly on our website at www.highat9news.com in just a matter of time.
Are you a business that's suffering from the hyperinflation that is plaguing America today? We have the solution for you. That's right, Patriot Business Financing. Head on over to www.patriotbfc.com and apply for a loan up to $2 million. Any state, any industry, even the cannabis industry, the CBD industry, as well as the industrial hemp fiber industry, secure up to $2 million today. And make sure that when you apply, you tell Paul you said hi from High at 9.
One quick note I did forget to mention. I apologize, you guys. Make sure that you help out the Green Party. They are in need of some financial assistance, you guys. It's important that people hear their message and whatnot. They do advocate a lot for the plant, and you can head over to www.jillstein.com to create a contribution to them, as well as the link to their whole policy is in the description of this video as well. And on that, we are going to roll right in to Miss Jenny Beth Dills. She's the founder of Kind Cannabis and apparently is just speaking as a voice from the heavens today because she can't figure out what's happening with her camera, and we've been trying to work on this to get it.
It's not my camera. It's fucking Discord, an internal bug that's been reported by a bunch of users. So screw you, Discord. Get it together.
And that is why we are working on this new software, so in that way we don't experience and subject to any of these bugs that we are being plagued with by Discord. And with that, we are going to roll right into Miss Jenny Beth Dills.
Yay! All right, we're going back to Colorado. This is a quick story, but I just thought that this might be nice to cover because it's out of Pueblo, a little shithole town just south of Colorado Springs. A Pueblo-based cannabis company is facing a hefty fine after a state investigation. The Colorado Attorney General's office announced that Bee's Knees CBDs will pay a $225,000 fine as part of a settlement.
Ouch.
The company was found to have made several false claims on its website, including misrepresenting its products as organic and produced in Colorado. The investigation revealed that these claims were not true, according to the AG's office. The company also failed to implement an age verification system on its website, despite selling hemp products with levels of Delta-9 THC similar to those found in regulated dispensaries. Additionally, Bee's Knees falsely claimed partnerships with several conservation nonprofits. Attorney General Phil Weiser emphasized Colorado's commitment to consumer safety and the oversight of cannabis sales, stating, quote, this case highlights the importance of transparency in the cannabis industry. As part of the settlement, Bee's Knees must comply with state laws, obtain all necessary licenses, and implement age verification on its site. If the company fails to meet these requirements, fines could increase to $495,000. So I definitely am going to be following this one. You guys want to go ahead and make those changes and pay that fine, but it sounds like Bee's Knees is a pretty shitty company. Like, you know, yeah, okay, they screwed up, they screwed up their labeling, that's fine. Lying about saying it's organic and lying about saying that it's made in Colorado are pretty shitty things to do. But the thing that got me is falsely claiming you have partnerships with conservation nonprofits. So saying, hey, buy us, we're giving money to the greater good, and taking the money is a pretty shitty thing to do. So I hope they've taken at least $225,000 of it, because they're going to need that to pay back to the state. I'll throw it back to you guys, but sounds like these guys are not the Bee's Knees.
Oh, they're not the Bee's Knees. Man, Jenny Beth. Man, $225,000, man. That's a pretty hefty fine.
Yeah, and especially if it increases up to that $495,000.
What?
When you see a fine that big, they're trying to put this company out of business. They're
Yeah,
like,
they
you guys
are.
are assholes. We can't really make you stop, but we could try.
Man, I wish I could collect the fine. That would be awesome.
This is traditional unfair business practices, though. It goes on around the country. And if you produce consumable products, whether it's high fructose corn syrup or CBD or whatever, there are rules to what you can advertise. And if people that don't pay attention to that are going to get the state in, and the FDA will come in. If you're making claims about products that are provably false, okay, you got some problems. And any business that produces a consumable product that claims it does, you know, certain things, you've got to be prepared to prove that, or it's false advertising. And the industry has been slow to recognize that you're a business. You've got to comply with all the business rules in every state and federally too. And they just take this lightly until someone puts a boot up their ass. And this is a boot up their ass right now. You need to see a proctologist to have it removed, or a bigger one's going up there and they're going to be put out of business. So learn the lesson. Don't lie. Be honest. Tell people what you know, and don't put so much lipstick on the pig where what you're saying is really just a bold-faced lie.
Right? I'm with you, bro.
Pissing up a rope.
Pissing up a rope, literally. Literally. I mean, do you think they ultimately, because we've seen other companies fight unjust fines, you know what I'm saying, from different governments. Do you think they have a case with that on this, Dale?
What's unjust about this, Jason?
It's excessive.
Well,
They were operating like they were in the trap market.
Oh,
Sorry,
but
Dan,
that's
go ahead.
the question. Okay.
I mean,
and the Eighth Amendment has been brought to bear against the system. Okay. And I think it needs to be put up there for some scrutiny. Now, is it an excessive fine? It could be. Depends on what they did, what their warnings were. Okay. And the proportion of the fine in comparison to what they actually did. I mean, if we go back, there was a case called Tibbs, you know, several years ago, where they took some guy's BMW for, you know, a small amount of coke in his car. And the court said, no, that's an excessive fine. You can't take a $40,000 car for, you know, $20 worth of coke. That's excessive. That was not a lot of guidance on what to do with these industries that are going into where traditional vice markets. What are we going to do about that? Where's the line for excessive? I don't know, but I'll be watching. I got my popcorn.
Well,
I'm watching.
You know what, Dale? I think anyone can point to excessive fines of anything over $10,000, because ultimately they didn't have someone die in their facility, and Trulieve only got fined $10,000 by OSHA for someone dying in their facility. So I think that's a fair argument that any lawyer could make in court, because there's already a case law for that.
Yeah, but that case law may not be precedent in the court you're in. That's the problem, is that if it happens in a state where your court doesn't follow those states' decisions, then that decision, my argument, is irrelevant. Okay, and the court's likely going to say, no, it doesn't get to come into evidence. And that's part of the problem we face. Although all of us like to look around and say that's just not fair, when you get into a courtroom, it's a very artificial environment. You don't get to bring in all the things happening around the country. It's only what's in that state and perhaps in that local jurisdiction. It's very frustrating, but it's the way the law works. And that's why at most things are the Lawyers Full Employment Act. is you got to bring lawyers in from both sides to have a pissing match over things. The average citizen goes, it's easy to fix. Well, if you bring lawyers into it, now we get it complicated because that's how we make money.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
I mean, I think they're pretty dead to rights on a couple things, but I think that when it comes to falsely stating that they're dealing with nonprofits and they might want to just go ahead and pay this fine before they get in trouble for things like, you know, nonprofit fraud and shit like that, because that's a little bit, I don't know. They might want to just shut the fuck up, pay the fine, and go find something else to do with their time.
Fair enough.
That would be my advice to them. It's cheap money to pay me to shut the fuck up and write a check and go on. Change your business model. I mean, I've been in marketing meetings where I am the turd in the punch bowl. I tell them, look, you do that, you're going to get your ass in trouble. Stop it. Don't say that. Don't do it. You know, and after that, I put it in writing. I'm telling you, don't do this. After that, it's your problem.
And in cases like this, when you're looking at fines too, I mean, like, how long were they allowed to operate and lie to the public? How much money did they make over that time? Were they making millions of dollars? I mean, if they did,
I think that's fair. That's a fair question, Stone. How much money did they do in revenue during that time period? I think that's a fair question.
Well, if you're going to raise excessive fines, that's going to be some of the metrics you have to prove or disprove in the court. If you make, you know, $1 billion a year and you get fined $200,000, it's like excessive fines. Get the fuck out of here. No, that's not excessive compared to what you're making. But if you're making $500,000 a year and they fine you $200,000, whoa, that's a whole different paradigm.
Yeah, I remember back in cannabis early days, super early days, before even licensing and whatnot. Ken Estes, the father of Granddaddy Perp and whatnot, he had a store in Oakland, and the city of Oakland was trying to close him down, and so they started fining him $500 a day or $5,000 a day, and it's like, who gives a shit about that when he's pulling in $50, $60, $100,000 a day in sales? You know what I mean? Just pay the fine and keep it moving. And, you know, Oakland had a hard time closing him down at that place. And you have any thoughts on this, Jesse? Jesse, you with us?
Muted.
Oh, are you on mute, Jesse?
Yeah, I am. I don't know the system yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
I would just echo what Dale said. For any business, as a branding and marketing person, always listen to the lawyers when it comes to your marketing language and what you're doing. And yeah, it does feel like sometimes you're the turd in the punch bowl, huh, Dale? But we need to listen to people like you, because it can literally, obviously, save you hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Fair.
Don't listen to me and then pay my bill. I don't give a shit.
It's just going to rack up more bills if they don't listen to you, Dale. And speaking of that, we got a big old super chat from the Cole Memo. Thank you, Cole Memo. He says, Matt Gaetz is a huge fan of minor cannabinoids. That is pretty funny, Mr. Cole Memo. That is cute. But I will also throw out there in regards with Matt is that, you know, for all you Swifties out there, you know what I mean, you should all be big fans of Matt Gaetz, because he's the one that got into the whole argument when Taylor Swift was getting punked by, I think it was Scooter Braun and her record label and whatnot, of her not being able to perform her songs and whatnot. And so Matt took it upon himself to enter her songs into the congressional record, to which that way they would all be public songs and would be the public's entity as far as the IP on that songs, which allowed her to be able to perform her. So you know what I mean, he is a champion on all of those levels. So let the haters keep on hating. And on that, we're going to go to a commercial and we're going to be right back.